Good morning. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Sky, can you say something just so I know that I can hear you? I have my AirPods on. Just want to make sure. Hi. All right, everybody. Your coaches are on. Matt's here, and Ashley's coming on too, but you might not be able to see her because she said something's weird with her computer. Today we are going to do similar stuff that we did last time. In the like thinking about how your body feels situation, like the exercises we did in the beginning. You guys did a good job of that, but I'm going to point out one thing that you should work on a little bit this time. And then I'm going to try to take it a little bit into gymnastics. So some of the movements that I talk about, we're going to talk about it in a Pilates way, and then I'm going to try to connect it to gymnastics. Now, it's been a really long time since I've done gymnastics or coached gymnastics. So, and I'm not one of your coaches. Like, I'm not at your gym. I don't know what kind of cues or drills your coaches tell you. So if I say something connecting Pilates to your gymnastics that doesn't quite match what your coaches say, you can ask me about it after, or bring it up with your coaches after, or just like know that I'm teaching in my way, in the way that I understand things. But if it's different from how your coaches say it, that's okay. Just follow what your coaches say, but know that there's more than one way to think about movement, or more than one way to think about your shapes in gymnastics. All right. So we are going to start, if you guys could keep your cameras on, we're going to start by lying on our back, and then lying on our stomach, then lying on our side, then seated, and then standing. So if you could position your cameras now in a way that your coaches can see you, because I'm going to be back there and not able to see you as well, that would be great. So the one thing that I wanted to point out, your coaches were watching last time when we were doing the pelvic tilts, the clock that we were talking about. When you guys were tipping your tailbone back and forth, some of you were lifting your butts off the ground. When you tucked under, when you did like a hollow body, you're lifting your butts off the ground, and you don't need to do that. Everything that's happening is very small and right pretty much in your, like, it's your low back that's changing shape. Your hips stay on the ground the whole time, just like a different part of your hip or your pelvis stays on the ground, but you don't lift your butt off the ground. If you could think about it like you have like money in your two back pockets, and you don't want anybody to be able to grab the money. Yeah, so the whole time when we're doing the pelvic tilts, I want you to think about that. Kind of cold out here, but I'll be okay without my sweatshirt on. All right, everybody lie down on your backs, feet flat on the ground, legs are bent. And instead of the clock, we're gonna have a different image in our mind. Imagine you have a bowl of cereal on your stomach, and the bowl is halfway filled up with cereal and milk, okay? So I'd like you to tip the contents of that bowl towards your face. Not so much that the milk spills out of the bowl, but just tilt it a little bit so that it's right at that front edge of your bowl. And now tip the bowl towards your feet, but don't let the milk and cereal spill out. All right, here we go. We're gonna tip back and forth. Tip towards your feet, tip towards your mouth. Tip towards your feet, tip towards your mouth. Not so much that the milk spills out, just a little bit. Just not a huge movement, because really what we're trying to do is just move about 4 sections of your spine down low. It's actually not a glute exercise. We're not squeezing our glutes. We're curling at the front like of our abdomen, pretty much the muscles above and below your belly button. You're really light on your feet. So imagine your feet are like on thin ice and you don't want to break through. You're not pushing into the ground and you're not squeezing your butt. Tipping that bowl back and forth. Let's go 6 more times. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now put your hands on your belly button and tip the bowl towards your mouth. Does your belly button pop up into your hand? If it does, scoop it in. All right, we're gonna do 6 more here, not letting your belly button pop up into your hand. 5, 4, you're light on your feet. 3, 2, and 1. And one more thing I'm gonna add to it. As you tip the bowl towards your mouth, breathe out. As you tip the bowl towards your feet, breathe in. So everybody tip the bowl towards your mouth and breathe out. And now towards your feet and breathe in. Towards your mouth, breathe out. And breathe in. 4 more. 4. I'm going a little bit slower so that you're not hyperventilating. 3. Exhale, tip towards your mouth. 2. And 1. All right. Now put your knees towards your chest. Right? So pick your legs up. And can you make that same motion happen? You're going to want to use your hands for help too. So bring your arms by your side. Tip the bowl towards your mouth and now towards where your feet were. So we're doing like a little bit of a hollow and an arch. And can you do that without making your shoulders pop forward? So hollow, don't let your shoulders pop forward. Keep your shoulder blades flat on the ground. And then arch, little arch. It's like you fall into an arch. You don't force the arch. Hollow and arch. Hollow and arch. Exhale for that hollow, tipping the bowl towards your mouth. And then arch, inhale. 4 more. 4 and 3. Keep those shoulder blades flat on the ground. It's like a reminder for myself too, because I can feel my shoulders popping forward. And 1. And not because your shoulder blades shouldn't go forward, just I'm trying to see if you can control it from your abdomen, not from your chest. Okay, bring your arms above your head. Let's actually move your arms up back and forth because maybe you just woke up. So go ahead and open your arms up and down. Can you make this motion happen while not arching your back? Can you get your thumbs to touch the ground above you without arching your back? All right, now keep your arms above you. If you have a bed above you, you can even hold on to the bed above you or something. But see if you can keep your arms flat on the ground. And then you're gonna arch and hollow. So hollow, exhale. Inhale, fall to the arch. Exhale, hollow, tipping the bowl towards your mouth. Inhale, tip the bowl towards where your feet were. Keeping your arms flat on the ground. Maybe as you tip the bowl towards your feet, your arms want to come up with it. And your job is to keep your arms flat on the ground the whole time. Notice how far away your arms are from your ears. Are your arms in a position that they should be for, say, I don't know, a back handspring on floor or a handstand on bars? You can play with the position, like your palms up towards the ceiling, your palms down towards the floor, because that's, your arms would be facing different directions for your different giants, right? So play with how your shoulders feel when your arms are turned in different ways. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, put your right foot flat on the ground. Actually, that looks like left on my side, right? So I'm gonna mirror you. Put your right foot flat on the ground. Put your left leg straight on the ground. Keep your arms above your head. Can you hollow, press your low back to the ground, tip your bowl towards your head, and as you do that, pick your upper body up just a little bit, kind of like you're making a really long hollow body position. Stretch your your left leg super long along the ground. We're not picking it up. Your arms are right by your ears, your chest is curled up a little bit, and your low back is on the ground. All right, come back down. Now pick up to a long arch. You can press your left heel into the ground and lift your hips off the ground now and get a long, like, banana shape in the other direction. And then round it the other way. Hollow. You can now pick up your left foot, make a long banana shape in this position. In this one-legged hollow body position, your low back is on the ground. Your left leg is really, really reaching long. You're not thinking about picking your foot up to the ceiling. You're thinking about reaching your foot to the wall away from you. Your ears are between your arms. Your tops of your shoulder blades are slightly off the ground, and your low back again is on the ground. Totally on the ground. Okay, come back down to laying down, and then press your heels and press your arms to lift to arch. Your head's gonna stay on the ground. I don't want you to have to like balance on the back of your head, but you should feel your right glute working to lift you up, the back of your left leg. Think long here. Are your ribs flaring out? If so, bring your ribs in. And then one more time. Round to the other long banana position. Reaching, reaching, reaching. And then back into the arch. Lifting into a long rainbow. All right, switch sides. Right leg straight, left leg bent, arms above you. We're gonna keep the right leg on the ground. You're gonna first tip into hollow body, like low back on the ground, like cereal bowl tipping towards your face. You might feel a stretch at the front of your right hip as you do this. So you're tipping the bowl, your head's still on the ground, arms are still on the ground. Your leg is still on the ground. You're just pressing your low back into the ground. And now hold that position, lift your upper body up, keeping your ears between your arms, still reaching long through your fingers. Your right leg is still on the ground. And now reach that right leg towards the wall away from you so much that your leg starts to lift up. All right, come back down. Lift into the arch position, pushing with your left hip to pick you up. You're pushing with your right heel, back of your right leg. Your arms are pressing into the ground. And if your ribs are flaring out, these are like my own reminders. If your ribs are flaring out, bring those ribs in and then back down and then round to hollow, reaching through fingertips and toe tips. Low back is on the ground and back to arch. Breathe in and back to hollow. Breathe out and back to arch. Breathe in, back to hollow. Breathe out. One more each direction. Arch and breathe in and hollow and breathe out. All right, bring your legs in so that your legs are bent, and we're back to that first position. All right, now you're gonna do the cereal bowl tip towards your face and then lift your hips up. Now your hips are lifting up enough so that there's space underneath you. I'd like you to hold this position and just note to yourself, where do you feel this? If you feel a squish at your low back, then come down a little bit tuck under so that you're not arching your back so much. Tuck under, tipping that bowl towards your face, and then from that tucked under position, now lift your hips up. Do you feel it on the outside of your knees, or are your knees flaring out? Get your knees back to 2 straight lines. Feet are going straight away from you. And now that we've held this position for a while, just note to yourself where you feel it. Where I would like you to feel it is in your glutes, in your butt. But if you feel it in your low back, come down a little bit, tuck under, and then lift. If that doesn't help, there's a couple other things you can do. Just stay low, or press into your heels more, or maybe change how bent your legs are. But the point is, when you're doing this exercise, to mostly feel it at your hips and not like a squeeze of your low back. Of course, your back is working, but it shouldn't feel like it's getting squished. All right, come on down. Bring your knees towards your chest to rest that for a second. You can rock back and forth. And actually, while we're here, why don't you cross one leg over the other and then stretch out your glutes or your piriformis. And switch to the other side. This muscle, I've talked about this before, this muscle is often super tight in gymnasts, unless maybe you guys are working on it in gymnastics, but I think gymnastics, just by doing gymnastics, makes you pretty tight here. So my suggestion would be to stretch this out, like you guys have your time to stretch out on your own. All right, back to that exercise. We're going to bring it into gymnastics now. So go ahead and tip the tailbone to the ceiling, or spill your bowl towards your face, and then lift up, and then put your left leg up in the air like you're doing a leap. Okay? And then put your hips are gonna go down and up, down, up, down, up. You can coordinate your hands with this if you'd like, so you can imagine you're pushing off that back leg and leaping. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, switch sides. Curl it up, right leg up, and hips go down and up, and you can move your arms with it too. So you can imagine you're using that back leg to really push you off the ground. You're reaching with that right leg to really lift you up. 4, you can exhale as you lift. 3, kind of helps. 2, and 1. All right, now we're gonna lift up again. We're gonna have the other leg up, the left leg up, and you're gonna go from straight to the ceiling to out to the side, like you're doing a switch side, okay? And as you go to the side, you know how your whole body has to stay kind of solid so that you don't break apart when you go into your straddle. So when your leg goes out to the side, I'd like you to keep your body still, because we're not actually turning. How much can you bring your leg out to the side without letting your whole body turn with it? Yeah? All right, go ahead and lift your hips up. Put your left leg up. Your choice is to put your hands down or up. Obviously, up would be harder. So go from straight to the ceiling, down, out to the side. Straight to the ceiling, down, out to the side. 4 more, and 4. Keep that right leg still. 3. See if you can do it with no arms. I cannot. 2. And 1. All right, come on down. Bring your knees to your chest. Rest that for a second. And we're gonna do the other side. Lift up your hips. Bring your right leg up. And down, out to the side. Down, back up. Out to the side. Down, back up. Notice if you had that bowl on your center, would it be tipping over to the right? Don't let it tip over to the right. And 3, 2, and 1. All right, come on on down, knees to chest, rock that out, and put your hands behind your legs. Take a breath in. Exhale, curl your upper body up, round yourself up, and then stack yourself tall. Take a breath in. Exhale, come on down. Tip that tailbone under. Get your sacrum on the ground, low back on the ground, mid back on the ground, shoulder blades, long neck, head. Take a breath in. Exhale, curl it up, peeling yourself off the ground, one section at a time. Inhale. Exhale, come on down. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Again, exhale, curl it up. Shoulders away from your ears, not scrunched up. Down. And inhale, exhale, come down. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, curl it up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, come down. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, curl up, and we're going to stay up here. Bring your legs straight out in front of you. And then while we're here, maybe you're a little bit tight because you just woke up. Let's just lean forward for a second, get the backs of our legs feeling a little bit stretchy here. You might want to go to one side and the other. Okay. You're on your sits bones now. Remember the butt bones that you're sitting on. Feel if they're evenly on the ground. Feel if those butt bones are straight across, or does one side feel more in front of the other. Try to get them evenly pressing down into the ground and in the same line. Put your hands on your shoulders and twist your upper body only, keeping your sits bones still. And then the other way. So, a lot of times in gymnastics, right, you're one stiff, straight line, and you need that for a lot of your skills, but your body also needs to break it up a little bit, right? To be able to distinguish between when you need your hips to stay still and your upper body to move versus everything moving together. So, like when you are twisting on floor, you want everything to go together, right? But right now this is different. We are keeping the bottom still and twisting just the top. Can you do that with your arms above your head? Twist and twist and twist and twist. Now notice, are you stacked up or are you arched forward or rounded back? If you're rounded back because your hamstrings feel tight, you can bend your knees. I would like you to twist like you have a pole going straight down through your head, through your spine, and you're rotating around that pole. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, put your arms in front of you, round under and come on down, getting your sacrum on the ground, low back on the ground, mid back, shoulder blades. Bring your arms above your head without flaring your ribs, and take a breath in. Exhale, bring your arms straight out to the side like a letter T. Now bring them in front of you like you're placing some books on the top shelf, and round yourself up. Try to keep your legs on the ground, rounding forward, round, 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 like you're a sideways letter U, and then stack yourself back up again to straight line. Let's do that again. Tuck under, get your sacrum on the ground, low back on the ground, mid back, shoulder blades, arms over your head without flaring your ribs. Take a breath in. Exhale, arms out to the side, book to top shelf, peel yourself off the ground, rounding forward like you're rounding over a ball. And then stack yourself back up. And then come on back down again. Tuck under, sacrum, low back, mid back, shoulder blades, arms. Don't flare your ribs. Arms out to the side. This time, pick up your left leg as you peel yourself up. Not into a arched V, but a rounded V. round, 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 and then pick up to a straight back. That makes sense? We're gonna start here and then come to a straight line. Then round back again and come on down. Arms above your head, take a breath in. Exhale, circle your arms out to the side and pick up your right leg. Rounding first, round, 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 and then straighten your upper body. Then round back again and come on down. Bring your arms over your head. Inhale. Exhale, arms out to the side. Left leg comes up. Don't worry, we are not going to do too many more of these. Rounding forward, then straight. Notice just how that feels differently. Straight back versus rounded back. And then come on back down. This is the last one. Arms above your head. Take a breath in. Exhale, arms out to the side. And pick up your right leg. Rounding. And then straight body. And then we're going to come down. Okay. Bend your left leg. Bring your arms over your head. And then you are going to, all of you, I think, twist, right? So I'm not sure how you twist. 2 arms or bent arms or 1 arm, or whatever it is that you do. I'd like you to roll, your left leg is bent. You're gonna roll over to your right side and pick up your whole body. So I don't know if you might wanna see me first to see what I'm doing. I'm pushing into my left leg and everything from my shoulder, hip, my left shoulder, hip, and knee are all in one line. And I've turned over to my side. Come back down again. Both arms over our head. So left leg bent, both arms overhead. Do whatever you normally do to twist over with your arms and get your whole body over to the right. And come on back. And 4 more. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Stay over here. Notice if you're arching. Are you arching? Is your back arching? Should be a straight line, shoulder, hip, and come on back. Let's switch to the other side. Right leg bent, arms over your head. You're gonna twist the other way. One of these is gonna feel weird to you. This one feels weird to me. Okay, arms coming down and come over. Straight line from knee, hip, and shoulder, and come on back. And again, turn, and come on back. Come in one piece to turn over, and come on back. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Nice. Come on over, lie on your left side. Put your elbow down and let your left side of your body just hang, getting a stretch along that left waist and between your ribs on the left side. If you arch or hollow here, you might feel, if you don't feel any stretch, maybe shift yourself a little bit so you can get a stretch along the side of your body. All right, we're gonna take your shoulder away from your ear and let it come back down like you're shrugging. Away from your ear and come back down. As you're doing this, bring your mind's eye to your left shoulder blade and what it's doing. That left shoulder blade is sliding along your back, along the ribs at your back. It slides down your back as you bring your shoulders away from your ears, and it slides up your back as you bring your shoulder to your ears. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, come on to your left hand and do the same thing. So you're like just lounging for a second and then pulling tall. Shoulder to your ear, shoulder away from your ear. And as you do that, it's not just your shoulder blade that's moving, right? Like as you pull your shoulder away from your ear, you get taller. You can feel yourself lifting from your whole body, like a string is pulling you towards the ceiling. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, put your right leg slightly in front of your left. There's a hole in my bed here. Hopefully I don't fall through. That would be pretty funny, wouldn't it? Okay. All right, left leg slightly in front of your right. Right leg slightly in front of your left. And come up into side plank. All right. Now slowly, because now we have the whole weight of your body, just slowly do what we were doing before. Kind of like lay into it and then pull away from it. Shoulder towards your ear, shoulder away from your ear. If this hurts your shoulder, don't do it. Go back to what we were doing before. Notice how much more stable you are when you're pushing away, and how you're kind of just laying into your shoulder structures when your shoulder is close to your ear. 2 more. 1 and 2. Come down and rest for a second. Roll out that wrist. So now we are gonna go from that side plank position that we were in with our shoulder away from our ear to kind of like a downward dog position with your shoulders up towards your ear, kind of like you might on bars. So let's get to that second position first. Everybody go into your hands and knees, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up, and then get your shoulders away from your ear and then towards your ear. Away from your ear and towards your ear. One of these is the right position for when you are doing gymnastics. I'm guessing your coaches tell you to bring your shoulders up towards your ear when you're doing something like a handstand. Yeah. So whereas shoulders away from the ear was more stable when we were in that other position, shoulders towards your ears is more stable in this upside down position. All right, so we are going to come back to that side plank with shoulders away from the ears, here, and then when you pop up into here, you're going to push shoulders up towards the ear. Then you're going to come back to side plank, shoulder away from your ear. All right? Unmute yourself if you don't get it. You guys are good? All right, here we go. Right leg slightly in front of the left. We're going to do 6 of them. Right leg in front of the left, left arm down, come up, shoulder away from your ear, and then push into downward dog, shoulders towards your ears. That was 1. And 2. And 3. And 4. 5. And 6. Okay, nice. All right, that was good. I'm gonna give you a few more cues for the other side so you don't have to do that arm wrist again. But let me tell you now, once you just did that. So when you are in your downward dog position, if you have the flexibility to do it, can you open your shoulders all the way and pick your hips up? Because some of you were here and some of you were like rounded at your up your upper back. So see if you can open your shoulders and set your hips back. And when you come to this position, it's really important to not do that saggy. See if you can stay in a straight line here. All right, on that right elbow, let's sag it down, stretch it a little bit. Maybe you don't, I don't feel a stretch on this side, but I feel a stretch on the other side. But try to position yourself so that if there's any tight spot along this side, you get a stretch. And then pull yourself up, shoulder away from your ear. And then sag down and come up. We can incorporate breath into this also. Breathe in and sag down. Exhale, pull up. Breathe in and sag down. Exhale, pull up. Let's do that with a straight arm. Breathe in and sag down. Exhale, pull up. And as you pull up, think long, 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 long. Like a string is pulling you from the top of your head to kind of like to where the ceiling meets the wall. Your shoulder blade slides up, and then your shoulder blade slides down. Notice where your shoulder blade is. Just like bring your mind's eye to that. where it's like a hard part for people to think about, that shoulder blade. You have these ribs along your back, and the shoulder blade sits on top of it. And as you're doing this, that shoulder blade is sliding down as you bring your shoulders away from your ear, and sliding up as you bring your shoulder towards your ear. All right. And now put your left leg in front of your right, and come up to a side plank position and slowly sag into it and pull away from it. Shoulder towards the ear, shoulder away from the ear. If this hurts, go back down to your hip, because one of these positions is not super great for your shoulder. It's kind of hard on your shoulder to have yourself sagging. And last one. All right, roll out that wrist. Maybe one side was easier for you than the other. Remember that, and know that maybe on that side you should think about doing single arm stuff on that side to build up the strength of that side. Okay. All right, so we are gonna transition from the side plank to that downward dog, or like calf stretch, I don't know what you guys call it, but downward dog position. Remember, we're trying to open up at the shoulders all the way. We're not actually in hollow body here. We're open. All right, so left foot in front of right, and come up into that side plank, and then push into downward dog, shoulders by your ears, and the shoulders open. Yeah, and then back to side plank, and back to down dog. 5, 4, remember not to sag in the side plank. Don't sag. 3, 2, and 1. All right, come down to your stomachs. Go ahead and bend your left leg and stretch out the front of your thigh. Second most tight spot I see in gymnasts is this one. Just notice if you're arching your back. Are you making this happen by arching your back? Do you feel a lot of squish or archiness at your low back here? Tuck your tail under, get the front of your hip on both sides to touch the ground. No space underneath your hips here. Make sure your thighs are parallel, your leg's not out to the side, and your heel is going straight towards the center of your left glute. And switch sides. Tucking under so that you keep the front of your right pocket, or whatever pocket wants to pop off the ground. Both pockets, front pockets on the ground. Keep your thighs parallel to each other. Don't let that leg drift off to the side. Head that heel straight to your glute, not off to the side. You should feel a stretch at the front of your thigh. All right, put your hands by your shoulders. And remember how we're talking about our shoulder blades sliding up and down? Let's do that here. Slide your shoulder blades up towards your ears, and then down towards your back pockets. Up towards your ears, and then slide those shoulder blades down towards your back pockets. Your elbows are reaching towards your heels. One more time. Shoulder blades up, shoulder blades down, elbows reaching towards the heels. Okay, hold this position. Your face is hovering off of the ground. And then think of your spine as all the segments that it is. You know, those little bones on your back. There's a bunch of little bones. Can you pick them up one at a time to come up into a seal stretch? So just your neck, just the bones between your shoulder blades. And now we're getting to below your shoulder blades. And then your lower back. And then maybe your hips come off the ground as you come up. Long banana shape in this position. Think like your head is reaching to where the ceiling meets the wall, and your toes are reaching to where the floor meets the wall. Okay, come on down. Let's do that again, segment by segment. Bring your shoulder blades down your back and now lift a little bit at your neck and then at your bones between your shoulder blades and then under your shoulder blades and low back, and then head is reaching towards where the ceiling meets the wall and feet are reaching towards where the floor meets the wall. And come on down. All right. This next thing I'm gonna do is not gonna look pretty on me. Hopefully it'll look prettier on you. And if you can do it with your legs together, awesome. If you can't, that's also fine. I'm gonna be doing it with my legs apart. You're gonna come into that seal stretch position, lift your hands off the ground and rock back and forth, then come up into seal position again. I don't know if you guys do this in gymnastics. I know I've seen kids do this, but I don't know if this is even done anymore in gymnastics. Okay, so basically you're gonna be in this position, you're gonna lift your hands off the ground and then come up. And my little bed thing slid too. When you do that, you're thinking of maintaining this long banana shape. So don't get archy at the low back. And yeah, maybe think about where else you might be doing this in gymnastics. Maybe front layouts or something. Okay, bring your hands by your shoulders, shoulder blades down your back, lift up your chest, make this long banana shape. Then your hands are gonna come up towards your shoulders and you're gonna rock. And then come back up. Rock and come back up. Let me see you guys do it. Good. All right, stop for a second. A couple of things to think about. So I see a couple people, when you come up, your shoulders are here in front of you. You see where I am here, like shoulders are like this. Can you open up at the front like this? Like keep the thing that's most in the front is your chest, not your not the fronts of your shoulders. Okay, so don't come up to this position. The second thing is, if you have somebody whose elbows hyperextend, don't let yourself come up to a hyperextended position here of your elbows. Okay, so come up to a strong straight arm, not hyperextended. All right, back to here. Hands by your shoulders, shoulder blades slide down, lift up your chest segment by segment, and then rock forward and come back up. And keep on going. Remember, chest is front, shoulders are open wide, and you're not hyperextending your elbows. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, nice job, ladies, and 1. All right, that was a lot of arching, right? So let's reverse that, right? So let's go pushing back. Not quite a cat stretch. We are actually thinking about tucking our tailbone under, stretching out our low back here, and we're not getting super archy. Think about opening your shoulders and tucking your tail under, like you're spilling the bowl towards your mouth again. Okay, now bring both arms over to the right side, opening up that left side in between your ribs. Hang out here. Notice as you breathe in, it increases the space between your ribs, which increases the stretch of the muscles between your ribs. Again, I'll say that so that while we hang out here. As you breathe in, it stretches the space between your left ribs, which stretches the muscles that live between your left ribs. And then other side. Same thing. Breathing in to expand the space between your right ribs. One more big breath in and out. All right, I'm gonna see what time it is. Right here. What time is it, guys? 10:46. Okay, we're gonna do one last thing. All right, we're not gonna get all the way till 11, but we're gonna do one last thing. In standing. Raise your hand if it hurts you to be on your knee when you're kneeling. Does that hurt anybody here? Okay. All right, good. It's tricky. On this wet floor. Okay, I'll go up here. Go onto one knee and one foot. And we did this before. You're gonna tuck your back toe under and come forward until you're like in a lunging position. And I'd like you to feel this front butt working. Come on back down. And then repeat. Lean forward. Front butt should be working here. Obviously your quads are working too, but I really want your front butt to be working also. Let's do that 2 more times. This time bringing your arms above you. 1 and 2. All right, so now you're gonna bring your arms above you like this, and then you're gonna pick up your back leg until you're in a straight line, like parallel to the ground. And then come on back down. And then repeat. Lean in, reach long, pick up the back leg, and come back down. We see 2 more. Yeah. Good, okay. I do see that some of you guys are driving your back heel, which is nice, right? For something like vault. But what we are doing here is simply shifting weight. So I'm not driving that back heel. I'm just tilting forward and equally supporting myself from the front and the back. I'm not kicking up. Let's do that 2 more times, thinking about like shifting forward as opposed to powering forward. 2 more times, go for it. Nice, good. That was better. Awesome, other side. Put your other leg in front. And just shift and reach. Your back leg can stay on the ground. And come on down. Get yourself so that you're doing this in such a way that that front glute is working. 2 more times like that. 1 and 2. You're a straight line. No, you're not turning your pelvis. You're a straight line. Now keep that straight line as you shift and pick up that back leg. And do that 4 more times. Nice job. Good. I see some hips tilting, so watch your pelvis. If you had headlights at the front of your 2 hips, they'd be facing straight towards the ground when you go into that kind of arabesque position. All right, put your dominant leg in front. So if you're a right-legged cartwheeler, put your let's talk about, if you're a right-legged cartwheeler, put your right in front. And if you're a left-legged cartwheeler, put your left in front. And you are gonna do the same thing that you just did from here, but then you're gonna needle kick up, and that's it. So do 4 of those on your strong leg. Make sure you're using that front glute. Let's control needle kick as opposed to a power needle kick. Like keep tilting yourself. We're moving slow motion. Good. 1 more. Nice. All right. Go ahead and sit crisscross. Let's just end with a bit of a stretch. Reach up and over. Take a breath in. And exhale. Come to the other side. Breathe in. each side. Bring your arms behind you. Reach your chest forward. And we are done. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me this morning. You're welcome.